The streets of Belfast are this morning scorched and littered with debris, the aftermath of violent anti-immigrant protest in Northern Ireland's capital. That is some of the destruction in Belfast from last night. The city at the center of chaotic unrest, but similar protests have been seen in several cities across the UK. Masked protesters torched vehicles and buildings, forcing some families to evacuate their burned homes. The flashpoint for this flare-up, a brutal stabbing caught on video before bystanders disarmed the attacker. The suspect, a Sudanese man, now charged with attempted murder, all of it at a time of heightened tensions and protests around immigration. Let's go to Belfast and our Briar Stewart. Briar, you are surrounded by burned homes. Take me through them.
Yeah, so where I am, David, to give you a little bit of context, I'm on the eastern side of the city, and this street was one of the areas in Belfast last night where violence erupted, triggered by hundreds of men, mostly wearing black, with their masks covered, really setting fire to vehicles, to homes, and to causing chaos. Now, I'm going to step to the side here for a little bit so you can get a better view of down the street here, where there's obviously a lot of police officers still. They're investigating. There were actually homes on both sides of the street that were set on fire, and there were families inside at the time. And so there was this huge effort by emergency responders to get them out of the area. And we're talking about families with young children. And what police said this morning is that among those that had to be evacuated, there was also a 2-month-old baby as well. And there were a variety of people on the street from different backgrounds, including a family who had come to Belfast after fleeing the war in Ukraine. One of the members of the family spoke to media this morning, going through the events that happened last night. Take a listen.
My neighbor's house was set on fire, so my front door caught the fire a bit, and it had to be kind of kicked out to kind of stop the fire because it was about to go in the house. It was terrifying, I assume, because it's a street where lots of immigrants live, Yeah.
So in terms of the investigation going on, obviously there's a lot of political reaction from leaders, from officials and police. You had the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Keir Starmer, this morning come out and say that this was shocking and unacceptable, and that those who fueled the violence will be held accountable to the full force of the law. Again, we'll have to see how that plays out. A lot of these individuals were wearing masks, very hard to identify. And I can tell you that, they were basically threatening everybody in the area. We showed up with our camera at one point to try to take some images of what was going on. They threatened us in no uncertain terms. So we'll have to see just how kind of the investigation plays out. But certainly some of the comments we're hearing from leaders in Northern Ireland this morning, they're describing it in some cases as an act of thuggery, which happened last night.
Briar, what did we learn this morning after that stabbing suspect appeared in court?
Yeah, the stabbing suspect, the accused, 30-year-old Hadi Al-Odeid, he's from Sudan. He arrived in Belfast in 2023, coming here from the Republic of Ireland, and he was essentially granted leave to remain here until at least 2028. Now, he's been charged with attempted murder, and he faces other charges as well, including threatening an NHS worker. And as you mentioned, the stabbing was very brutal, happened after 10:30 at night on Monday. And the victim in the case, a man in his 40s, we're learning more about the extent of his injuries. We understand that he is in serious condition, but the latest update this morning is that he lost an eye in that attack.
Briar Stewart, quite something there in Belfast. Thank you very much.